I hope you're wondering at this point what you can do as an ordinary citizen to turn things around. And if you're a municipal official, I hope you're already planning to bring up the subject of non-point source pollution at your next town meeting. Maybe we can offer some help. You see, much of the problem is caused by carelessness or ignorance. Most of us don't go around deliberately destroying our environment. We just don't know what's hurting it. Take this beautiful suburban lawn, for example. The people who own it take good care of it. They fertilize it regularly with some extra applications just for good measure. And they even have an automatic timer on the sprinkler so it won't dry out. What they don't realize is that their sprinkler is carrying all that excess fertilizer right down the slope into the water. Here's another family doing what families do. Now, what could be wrong with washing the car? Nothing. Unless, of course, the soap suds and road gunk get into our waterways. Use biodegradable low-phosphate detergents and don't get rid of the oil by pouring it into the storm drain. Remember the old Pogo cartoon? The enemy is us. Well, we all pollute. And since non-point source pollution comes from all over, there's no quick fix. We all create it, and we all have to do something about it. Here are some ideas to get you started. Be a good gardener. That means having your soil checked for nutrients and pH level to make sure that your plants need and can use that fertilizer. You might also consider planting the kind of grass that doesn't need so much fertilizer to begin with. Don't waste water. And don't waste money watering your driveway. Don't use chemical pesticides unless you really need them. They kill the good bugs along with the bad ones anyhow. And there are a lot of alternatives, from washing the insects off with a hose to planting companion plants that bugs hate. Have your septic system checked. The quality of our groundwater, what you drink, is very easily affected. Start a compost heap. It's a clean, efficient way to turn all your grass clippings, leaves, and kitchen wastes into a great soil conditioner for free. And it keeps all that stuff out of our water. Even if you're tempted, don't feed water birds. Too many of them, and their wastes can really foul a body of water. Pick up after the dog. That stuff could wind up someplace you may want to swim. And most important, be a good citizen. Recycle glass, cans, used motor oil, and antifreeze. Repair and reuse whatever you can. When you do throw out the trash, put it in closed containers. Join your community's efforts to clean up the beaches and the parks and the riverbanks. Or become a member of a community group that monitors pollutants so we'll all know when things need improving. Pester your town officials. Keep an eye on how well they maintain storm drains, protect wetlands, and control erosion and sediment from construction sites. If you think you could do a better job, volunteer for a commission or run for office. If you already are a municipal office holder, we have a few important thoughts for you, too. There are a number of recommended procedures to help you manage your town's resources and protect your waterways. You may hear about recommended management measures or best management practices. Doesn't matter what they're called. They make good sense, and they can ensure a better life for your constituents. And many larger communities are now required under the Clean Water Act to obtain permits for stormwater runoff. Following best management practices is the key to meeting permit requirements. Remember, the land use in your town is the root cause of most of your remaining water quality problems. So reevaluate your existing uses and cast a critical eye on proposed development. Where development does occur, insist on environmentally sound site design. Limit impervious paved areas wherever possible, retain natural drainage systems and contours, and require undisturbed natural or buffer areas along the water and around wetlands. Establish and enforce planning and zoning restrictions that limit development to protect natural resources. High on any town official's list should be maintenance. Roads, public areas, storm drains. Removing sediment from roads before it gets into storm sewers can radically reduce pollution. Repairing clogged or damaged drains can keep contaminants from overflowing. Promote recycling in your community and establish hazardous waste disposal days. Keep up with garbage collection. Learn about stormwater ponds or basins and landscaping techniques that remove pollutants and slow down water movement. Call for grass ditches rather than curb drainage. Adopt and enforce erosion control ordinances for construction sites. All construction sites which disturb over 5 acres must now have an EPA stormwater permit. You can always tell a sloppy construction site when there's sand and dirt runoff after a rain. Institute strict regulations for the spreading and storing of road salts. Take care of your wetlands. They're natural pollution filters and shouldn't be overloaded. Support community projects that educate your residents, like this one to stencil storm drains, reminding people that they lead to surface waters and shouldn't be used for waste disposal. This effort won't succeed unless everyone cooperates. Sound like a big responsibility? It is, but there's no one else to assume it. Each citizen, each town government has to do its part. The alternatives, dead lakes and rivers, undrinkable water, no fishing industry, no beaches, no waterfront recreation, is simply unacceptable. Just think about what those conditions would do to real estate values in your town. And think about your grandchildren, whether they've been born yet or exist only in your dreams. Aren't they entitled to the joy and beauty that nature provided? Or are you going to let them rely on luck?